I don't know if it's good. I'm not going to take a full 1 point off to drop this down all the way into the 8s category, but I am going to take a full 5 points off. I had this game at a 9.8. I'm now going to drop it to, the only thing I could possibly think of is a 9.3 now. And that's me being fair. If I was like the angry, you know, conceited, things should go my way person, I would take a full point off. Full 10 points, which will make the game a full 1 point off, which means this game would be an 8.8 at the moment. But I'm not going to do that. I'm only going to take 5 points off with regards to decision making, with regards to completely destroying through part of the original stories to make something that seems like it fit, but kind of gets rid of the stories and how those characters and missions or side stories attached to those characters are removed. So I'm only taking 5 points off, which drops it down from the 9.8 that I originally had it from the last video to now back down to 9.3. But I will say this before I check out. If more decisions like this are being made with regards to this game, that's bad. Then that means this game was not remade for the fans and for random people. It was just made for random people. I'm gonna say right now, who the hell this game was made for? Because what I just saw there, that wasn't made for the fans at all. That was not made for the fans at all. That was made for someone else. So this, I'm starting to think that this game is just made for the general audience, period. Because there's nothing in that scene kept the fan aesthetic of the original game alive. I don't know. I don't know what to say with regards to this. I kind of like how they redid it, but at the same time, I don't like it. It's like I'm split between, um, two halves of a coin. One half on the other side of the coin is bad. On the other half is actually good. So this whole thing with introducing Yuffie early here in Juno is both a smart decision and a real fucking stupid decision. It's both a very good decision and a bad decision. A good decision for random people who've never played Final Fantasy, but a very bad decision for those who love the original game. Don't know what they are doing within Square Enix, but I would say get your shit together. And if you're gonna make the third game anything like what I just saw there, it's gonna fail before it's even launched. So I'm gonna throw this up on the internet. I doubt anyone from that company will ever see this video. So who cares if they did? You know, if you do things because you assume you understand your fan base, and you understand the Final Fantasy fans, and you understand what it is they want and they don't want. And apparently this scene proves that you don't understand jack shit. So now I'm back down to 9.3. I drop a full 5 points off. I have a feeling it's gonna just keep dropping from here on out. But maybe as I keep playing, it'll prove me wrong. So who knows? As regards to those tedious missions and stuff I see people complaining about on the videos, tedious mission in the open world is something that happens in every open world. Only a few open world games don't have tedious missions. Days Gone have it, Horizon have it, Zelda have it. When I see people bitching about stuff like that, I know that they're not fantasy game players or open world game players. No, they don't play DayZ and stuff, or they don't play Warframe and stuff. They don't understand how tediousness with regards to open world is a common thing. They just want something straight and to the point. I don't have time for that. Those people don't know anything about open world games. They believe it should be like Elden Ring or something. Well, this is not like Elden Ring. People aren't going to die for your satisfaction over and over and over again in that sadistic belief that dying is part of the enjoyment of the game. That's another reason why they don't like this game. Because they believe that if a character isn't dying, straight up being gutted or something, or falling to their death, or being crushed or destroyed, there's no value to it. But that's not the case in Final Fantasy. In Final Fantasy, when a character is defeated, it says defeated, they're not dead. So, is a game really valuable when someone is dead rather than just knocked out and it says game over? No. It just means that you're sadistic. That's the type of enjoyment you like. Game of Thrones type of crazy shit that you want to see in game. I'm not down with that, blowing people up and all that stuff for your enjoyment. Then you said the game is not good because it's not enough death. Or it's, a character doesn't die, they just get knocked out. Like, go that way. Go that way with the rest of them. Go far that way and never come back. So yeah, this based on this decision making for this game, dumbass reason that they made this. This is definitely not for the fans and the fandom. This is for someone else, but it's not for fan and fandom. Yuffie is introduced way too early, and it's not part of a whole thing. And even if they did introduce her here, they've now taken away an essential part of what made her Yuffie. The whole conversation with Cloud and the group in the forest, where you had to make decisions of picking the right answers. By taking that away, you've taken a part of this character's personality or this character's whole thing away, which is completely freaking stupid and ridiculous. Or if it does pop up later on in the game, then there is no reason to have introduced her here for no reason. Because now you've taken the whole idea of her, the secrecy of her character away by introducing her here, and then all of a sudden you would introduce her in the forest to jump them thereafter. So there's no secrecy or surprise to her existence. There's no surprise whatsoever. You're not surprised by this character. She just doesn't pop up because you already introduced her here early. The grind is one thing. I don't mind that. But dumbass decision making like Leon S. Kenny not being able to swim from the fish in Resident Evil 4 remake by just taking that important sequence out from that game because they don't think that's a good idea. For what reason would you need to take Leon from not swimming back to the boat? For little kids playing the game? That's not a game made for kids. Kids can play it, but it's never made for kids. So they're worried about the guy getting eaten by the shark. That's too much of a graphic scene. The hell out of here. A game was never made for kids. There's no reason that they had to remove that thing from Leon in Resident Evil 4 remake. I say it here too. There's no reason to include Yuffie this early and remove a part of who she was from the game with regards to this. You have to remember that a fan base is attached to this. If you're remaking something and you're not considering the fan base because you think you know the fan base, but you screw it up, then you're going to hear from the fans. This is a dumbass decision.